Ticket to Ride. Life was spinning out of control. The past several weeks had seemed like a never-ending bad nightmare. The hows and the whys remained a head-scratcher. During deployment and on missions, there was no time or practicality to postulate the things that happened. The Corps gave the orders, and he performed with loyalty, precision, and respect, never once crossing his mind to question if it seemed logical or fair, right or wrong. He did as told. End of thought. This new set of circumstances, civilian life, offered no rhyme or reason and left him in an always compromised position. Right, Commander, he thought. Civilian life was not for everyone. And perhaps he was part of the mass of everyone. The driveway onto the compound created the ambiance of driving through a botanical garden, lush and tranquil. Javier continued to make a big deal out of Babe's bullet wound, almost like kissing his ass. It was over the top as far as the Marines saw it. Maybe the boss man detected his manipulative technique was backfiring. Yeah, Babe felt guilty for many things, but none were what someone else might surmise. There was no shame about maiming his father, no guilt about eliminating a threat of any kind. No, he felt guilty he hadn't taken care of business with Chop from the onset when his gut was saying something wasn't right. Then considered, when they first entered his apartment, the unsettled feeling alerted him something was awry, yet he blew it off. Had he reacted to his instinct, he wouldn't be in the predicament he found himself in presently. Any guilt he felt had to do with not responding to his senses, preservation instincts, and duty of protecting those who couldn't defend themselves. He'd gotten sloppy one too many times, and this was the result of his folly. The first thing on his agenda, once they were at the house, was getting in the shower and digging the bullet out. It wasn't deep, barely below the surface, probably from a ricochet. He could likely grab it if his hands weren't so big. Someone tiny like his Creole Blossom could have snatched it out with ease. Her tapered, thin fingers were like delicate surgical equipment, whereas his digits were more like mechanics tools, bulky but powerful. The front door opened as they approached the sprawling home. A young woman stood with a welcoming smile. She could have easily been one of the models posed in Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition or Playboy. She was intoxicatingly beautiful. "Welcome home." She nodded at Javier and then looked at Babe. "Welcome to Casa Garcia." Her full smile radiated warmth with heart-shaped lips and perfectly white teeth. The cleft in her chin was not too deep, but enough to give her appearance a strong yet feminine presence. "Carmen, please show Captain Vicarelli to his quarters and summon a physician to assist with his wound." She bowed her head politely and answered it would be her pleasure. Javier went in a different direction than she was pursuing. Babe tried to watch where he was going, but lost sight of him once in a dramatic hall festooned with seemingly expensive pieces of art. As one could feel the nuance of fine furniture, such was the artwork displayed on the walls and sculptures in the corners. She attempted friendly small talk as she led him to his suite. Javier didn't do anything half-assed. The focal point of the suite was a spectacular tropical view. From the apparent thickness of the glass, he figured it was shatterproof. The furnishings were first-rate, like his grandfather's, but not as heavy, more modern. The living area of his room had a rectangular fire pit inlaid into a coffee table that glowed with hues of brilliant turquoise and blue, like a river setting off an ivory leather L-design sectional. Everything had a hint of the tropics, with soothing aquatic shades popped by brightly colored throw pillows. The bed was massive, king-sized and canopied, raised high off the floor, adorned with netting gathered on each of the 4 corner posts and across the top. Luxury at its finest. "Ma'am, I'll be getting in the shower. Thank you for guiding me, but I can't take it from here." Babe tried to say get out without being rude. "Let me take your soiled clothing. You will find a robe in the closet." Carmen swept her hand toward a closed mirrored door. "Senor Garcia will have suitable garments for you. He has already sent word, and you will have all you need within the next hour." She smiled with a slight tilt.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?